Hello and welcome to my second pass for the pitch assignment, Gladiator. Let's get started. In Gladiator, the player is thrown into a arena deathmatch with other enemies or players, and he must battle against the enemies and constantly watch his energy gauge to make sure that he does not run out. The hook of this game is that there is an energy bar the player uses all of his actions on. There are also multiple arenas throughout the game that the player is thrown into to give the game some variety. The pertinent rules of the game is that every action that the player takes, other than basic movement, uses energy. As you can see, there are several different pickups that the player can get that will allow him to regain energy if he runs out. If the player does end up running completely out of energy, he is disabled for a certain amount of time, leaving him open to the many threats in the arena. The goal of the player is to get the highest score in the game. There could be multiple game modes, either timed or a score limit. The antagonizing forces of the game are monsters. Each arena could have different types of monsters depending on where the setting is, and other gladiators. The player may be forced into fighting other people that have been thrown into the gauntlet as well. Player decision. The player has many decisions in this game. The energy that the player uses for all of his actions can run out very quickly. As you can see, there is running, sprinting other than normal movement, will make the player constantly run down on energy. Shooting the weapon, other than the basic weapon, would take up much energy. The basic weapon would just use a little bit. So the player has to decide in clutch moments strategically where if he is almost dead, should he use the rest of his energy to run and try to grab an armor pickup, or should he try to get to the nearest weapon to defend himself if he has run out of energy for his basic weapon. The theme of this game is set in multiple different gladiatorial arenas. The player is taken from a time and is thrown into each different arena to fight different enemies. The perspective of the game would be a 2D arena-style combat with 3D objects, as you can see above. Similar games to this are shown above, Armageddon and Skull Rush. The differences are, in these games, there is only a very limited amount of arenas, whereas in Gladiator, you are thrown into several. Possibilities are endless for play. The player can be aggressive, the player can be docile, it just depends on how his playstyle is. The known risks of the game are, of course, the AI. Putting in multiple different types of enemies can use lots of time and resources, and designing the different arenas. That in itself takes a lot of time. Thank you.